Welcome everyone, Adam, the Woo here. Have my luggage down below, have my backpack on. Just arriving now, Orange County, California, to the airport. Currently 10 a.m. on August 11th, 2021. I will be boarding a plane, flying American Airlines, heading to Central Florida to Orlando International, not before a layover in Texas, I believe. More on that later. I should have probably researched it before starting the intro. However, I do have a layover flying out of John Wayne. First class, my second time doing first class. About a month and a half ago, flying back from Orlando to here. Is there a car coming? I'm good. I ended up taking United, so did United for my first class experience, and now I decided to change it up with a different airline and going with American Airlines. Over time I'll do them all, but I just want to see how this one differs from others. I'm inviting you to join me on this all-day adventure. Shall you? Appears as if my layover will be in Dallas, Fort Worth. Shown right up there. Flight number 1675 departs at 11:26 a.m. on time, gate number 6. Okay, which way is gate number 6? There are no direct flights out of Orange County to Orlando. You know, in the past I've gone over to LAX and gone that direction. But I don't mind layovers. It's kind of nice to get out and stretch the legs a bit. Plus it's a lot easier to get through the checkpoints here. Never quite as crowded as LAX is. It's a much more enjoyable experience. You don't have to get here quite as early either because there's not as many people. Made it in exactly 1 hour till boarding, stated right here. 11:26 a.m. is the departure time. Right there, it is now 10:22. Well, not quite an hour and 4 minutes till departure. This is gate 5. So my plane is not pulled up to gate 6 yet, but this just gives an example of the size aircraft I'll most likely be boarding for the first leg of the flight. And over here at the gift shop have some California merchandise, including a little Orange County as well. Some stickers here. California in the sun, the Golden State. Right there, even some hats. Hudson News. There was a short time where I started using these neck pillows, and after a couple times I just realized I didn't really need them. For some reason I was a little more uncomfortable with them than just leaning my head. I always get the window seat. I just usually just lean my head up against the side of the plane next to the window, and I would never bring the travel pillow with me. So I opted out of never using it anymore. Just personal preference. I'm seeing all the other airlines that I'm not flying on today. There is no miniature of the airline that I will be on. American Airlines. Oh, there's United. Even Air Force One, Alaska, Southwest. Delta. That's interesting. No American Airlines. Oh, there's one inbound right there, landing. Check it out, yeah. Getting landing, and also they have the little taxi unit that is moving away from that airliner. I never sit before getting on a plane. I always walk around, kind of meander around, stretch my legs, just simply because I'm gonna be on board for so long. And you know, it's good to get the blood flowing. When you think about it, I'm going to be sitting in a seat for like 5.5 hours, give or take. So why would I sit now? Yeah, I don't really like sitting for that long. I have to be constantly like moving around, either sitting, standing, doing something different every so often. So just to balance it out, I try to tire myself out by standing before getting on a plane. It makes the ride a little more bearable. A little farmer's market and a Ruby's to go over here. Now I'm not going to eat anything at the airport itself because I'm going to be getting some snacks on the plane itself. Pretty neat little vibe in here in the restaurant with some vintage style posters there on the wall. Oh, I made it over to the beach, standing on the shoreline. Ooh, feel the waves crashing in and the wind in my hair. Just kidding, I'm still in the airport. This is still the airport. This is just a little photo wall. Just trying to stay busy until, till it is time for me to board, which isn't much longer. Less than a half hour to take off. And my gate number 6, the plane has not arrived. Should be boarding in a couple of moments, but there's no plane there yet. Possible delay. There is one over here, however. Oh, there's one pulling in. You know what? Okay, be patient. Be very patient. This could be the gate number 6 airliner. Yep. All right, we're witnessing this in real time. Right there. This is it. Pretty decent size. Now, if it just takes a little shift, it is. Okay, time this perfectly. American Airlines, gate number 6, pulling into the station. Oh, look at this little plane, personal plane landing as well. Also a very short runway here. Takeoff and landings are very different at this one than they are at some of the bigger airports. The runway is a lot shorter. There it is. A little behind the scenes, well, out the window scene. There we go. They're putting the little stanchions under the front wheel there. Got the guy down here with the markers. And there comes Doc Brown's van. They found him. I don't know how, but we found him. I think everyone's sitting around, or standing around me. Well, I'm standing up right here, and my bag is next to me. I think everyone's sitting around me is probably like, why is that guy talking to himself? About 20 minutes later than expected, as far as the allotted time frame for boarding. But I'm making my way on. Group number 1. I believe I'm in seat 3A, or maybe 3B, whichever one's the window. But seat 3, either A or B. I just checked and it is 3A. Definitely a lot more leg room. Instead of having 3 seats across the aisle, there's only 2 seats. Tray tables in here.
Right there at home of Taylor, right there at Waco, yes. I have
your seat pocket. You might be called upon to open the exit in case of emergency. Let us know if you are willing or unable. Can you place on airplane mode? Flight attendant arm doors, cross check, standby phone call.
Now there is no television here. They do have this little flip down tray for your phone right there, and a charger as well, which is kind of nice. A little cell phone charger. This is a 737. And because this is taking off a little bit late, it's going to make it a little bit of a time crunch in order to get the layover. I get to Dallas Fort Worth, but sometimes they make up for it on the flight out. Should start taxiing out very shortly. Just looking at the next plane over.
During the flight, you may briefly lift or lower your face mask for eating or drinking. Please keep your mask on if you want to speak so we don't have to wake you. We're coming through the aisle now for a final safety and face mask check. Now more than ever, we appreciate you choosing American. Sit back, relax, enjoy your flight.
This airliner is definitely considerably bigger than that one. That's like a 3-person. There's also another smaller one landing over there as well. boats down there, right here along the shoreline. They're making the turn, making the turn. All right, not quite a 360, but did make a shift and running parallel to the shoreline. Somewhere down there. Somewhere down there. Very beautiful cloud formations. You just look out the window for a considerable amount of time and be entertained by how fluffy and beautiful clouds are. Well, technically I'm above the clouds, looking down on the clouds. Clouds as far as you can see. Figure out how this tray pops up. You don't just reach in and grab the metal part. You have to take your finger and press down. And it pops up on its own. Slide it forward. The meal is included. Got some pita chips here, a little salad up top with some naturally fresh oil and vinegar dressing, something called a Brooklyn bar. Looks like there's some grapes and blueberries and a strawberry. And I went with the turkey pastrami sandwich. Pretty good. It's not the biggest sandwich in the world, but definitely nice that it comes with all the additional. Also, look, there's some provolone cheese on there and lettuce. But it's nice that it comes with all the other additional things as well, and some plastic cutlery down here. I went with Dr. Pepper. Got to admit, food was pretty good. I'm kind of wondering, since I have a layover, when I get on the next flight, will I get another meal that's included? I think I might. Let's wait and see. And just to reiterate, the best thing about this is I have plenty of leg room, elbow room, and personal space, which for me, being 6'3" and not thin, very comfortable. Yeah, look at all this. It's a good, like, almost a foot between my knee and the back of that seat. Well, not maybe not a foot, half a foot. Also brought out some almonds, roasted and sea salt flavor. Pretty tasty. Also a cup of water here.
All guests are clear to carry on baggage for landing. Your flight attendants will be examining the farmer's side of the service side. If there's any on-board articles to us that we come to the cabin. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We let customer service representation being the aircraft today. There'll be a lot to assist you with any connection information you may have today and your baggage claim information. Thank you for joining us. We'll be landing shortly.
Quite a bit of turbulence coming into Dallas, Fort Worth. You can see the greater city area I am approaching very soon, but yeah, there's quite a bit of turbulence as the wing is kind of bouncing over there. The whole plane is just kind of bouncing. Oh yeah, bouncing a little bit. Heading back down towards the airport here, Dallas Fort Worth. Flying parallel to this plane is another plane over there on the horizon. Just as it's there, we're both heading into the same airport. Probably two different runways, obviously, but another plane way over there. Shadow of the plane. I'm going over the traffic, going over the freeway, the interstate. Downtown cityscape over that way. About to touch down. Successful landing. Moving very, very quickly to the gate. Probably in a bit of a rush to make sure the connecting flight happens.
We would like to be the first to welcome you to Dallas Fort Worth. The local time is 4:25 in the afternoon. Our arrival gate is C26, Charlie 26, baggage claim C25, Charlie 25. We have a connection here in Dallas. You can do a Google search by typing in AA with your flight number or your smartphone for your connecting gate information, or check the monitors throughout the terminal. So I'll put your gate agent meeting on top of the jet bridge for any questions you might have. On behalf of the entire Dallas Fort Worth crew, American Airlines, and a One World Alliance partners, thank you for flying with us today. Hope to see you again soon on another American Airlines flight.
Alright, I am now heading over to C26. Still have a little less than an hour before my next flight departs, so should easily make it. Now this is interesting, confused me a little bit, but C26 is the same gate. Well, there goes a monorail or some sort of transportation device. Is that a monorail or? I'm not sure, but it might be a single rail monorail. But this is the same plane I just got off of. I'm going to reboard the same plane after the layover. That's weird. This old retro looking neon of the Eagle is pretty cool over here at gate 20. Granted, it's definitely a lot faster if I was to do a direct flight. You don't have the additional landing and takeoff and then the waiting around, but I do enjoy stretching my legs, so I kind of like it. I kind of like having layovers now, even though it makes your day very, very lengthy and a lot longer than it would be with a direct flight. It's kind of nice to stretch the legs. Whoa, this is kind of sort of like deja vu. This is the same tunnel I walked out about an hour ago, well, plus than an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, give or take. And we're going back on the same plane, but sitting on the opposite side of the aisle. I've chosen the window on the other wing. 4F, I believe, is my seat this time.
Let's do it. Looks like they got the bags loaded, so we should be on our way here very shortly.
2 hours and 15 minutes down to Orlando. I'll be back once we get the cruise altitude and give you an update on our arrival time. Just a couple of important announcements. I need to remind everybody that consumption of personal alcoholic beverages brought on board today's flight is against federal regulations.
I think we're about ready to take off, but I'm kind of wondering whose luggage is this down here? It's random luggage.
We are primarily here for your safety, but if there's anything that we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please do not hesitate to ask. Once again, we'll be dimming the cabin lights and take off. Individual reading lights can be found overhead. Once again, we'll be walking through the cabin to ensure everyone is wearing a face covering. We want to thank you for your cooperation and understanding during this time, and now more than ever, we want to thank you for choosing American Airlines. Sit back, relax,
This
and
flight
enjoy
attendant
our
sounds like the guy from
15-minute
Soarin'.
flight to Orlando.
Nice work, pal. Arenas down there, baseball stadium, and a couple of others. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what teams those are. Now through this area, not a lot of thick cloud formation. There is some over on the horizon, but right here you get a really clear view down to the ground level. Well, I guess right. You do get a second meal. Instead of the other one that I had, I went with a vegetarian option, which is pimento cheese. I do like pimento cheese. My grandma used to make me pimento cheese sandwiches. Yeah, went with the pimento cheese. Gonna have a little lettuce on there and some tomatoes, also the little fruit over here. And what I did last time was take these flatbread crisps and use the olive oil and vinegar for almost like a dipping sauce, and just kind of used about half of it on the salad. Also, these little brownies, really good. Yeah, 2 meals. When you have a layover, you get 2 little small meals.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are level at 39,000 feet. That's our cruise altitude down to Orlando. We'll be leaving the seatbelt sign on for a little bit longer. We're doing some deviations around some rain showers, and might get a little bit bumpy. So until we get past this area, the next 15 minutes,
utilizing this waste bag for my trash.
Got one more little area of storage myself to the right. We're going to be deviating to the north of. Once we get around that, it should be a clear shot into Orlando. Due to the deviations, we're probably going to be right on the schedule, maybe just a couple minutes behind the schedule for overtime, which was 9:26.
Check that out. Lightning over there in the clouds. Pretty cool.
Been available to deploy to students will be landing soon. again, it's going to take the captain just a few minutes to taxi over to the gate, and while he does so, we request that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, as well as keep the aisles clear of any carry-on items. And on behalf of your Dallas Fort Worth-based flight crew, we'd like to thank you for flying with us this evening. We know you have a choice in air travel. We'd like to thank you for choosing American Airlines. Have a good night.
Current time, 9:28. Well, Florida time, that is. I went through a few time zones. Been a long day of traveling.
To land us safely, we want to assure that the health and well-being of our passengers.
And that's gonna do it for today. I'll see you in the next video of the vlog. I'm in Florida. The vlog.